Welcome back to Crossover Ministries. My name is Nisha, and today I'll be giving you guys the word. I want to share with you guys that even with all the things that's going on in this world, guess what, you guys? We have hope. Yes, that's true. We have hope. Christ is here, you guys. He have made a way so that we can make it through these trials and tribulations, through the blood of Jesus. So we should be thankful, you guys, because he made a way. So even for some of you who have not fully committed yourselves to the Lord, there is hope. He's telling you that there's hope. And so, this is just to uplift you and, to encourage you that don't worry about these dark times, just seek him because that's why he came. So I was reading in Isaiah 9:2, and it says, the people who walk in darkness will see a great light. For those who live in a land of deep darkness, a light will shine. So don't worry, guys. Even with all the chaos that's going on, you will see the greater light. And who is that? That is Christ. And so when we see those things, when we read this and we hear this, you guys, it should just bring joy to you. It automatically should just bring joy to you, knowing that you are, the Lord is rescuing you. He's rescuing his people, and some have already, so some are already going to be able to step ahead. They'll be able to step out and do things because the Lord wants to use them. And so here, when I was reading, let me make sure, I'm going to go to Matthew. Actually, I wrote it down. Matthew 4, that's chapter 4 and verses 15 to 16. And it says, in the land of Zebulun and of Naphtali beside the sea, beyond the Jordan River, in the Galilee where so many Gentiles live. The people who sat in darkness have seen a great light, and for those who live in the land where death casts a shadow, a light has shined. So it is not over, you guys. He is telling you he's going to reveal himself to you guys. Like we all know, like 2020, and I'm gonna say for like my generation, especially for like, maybe like my children, because my kids they're in their 20s. We get to see, we get to witness so many things. Like we get to see how everybody just turned against one another. There's just a war in the spirit, and people need to recognize what's going on. But listen, there's hope for some of you. The enemy, yes, he might have deceived you, might have made you think a certain way, probably thought that God forgot all about you. No, he hasn't. And so I just want to share that with you guys, that the Lord is with you. And if you just trust him and count on him, like he's going to bring you to the other side, which is the right side, which is Christ. And so that's where you want to be. I also was I ended up reading in Isaiah chapter 42 verses 6 through 7. It says, I, the Lord, have called you to demonstrate my righteousness. I will take you by the hand and guard you, and I will give you to my people Israel as a symbol of my covenant with them, and you will be a light to guide the nations. You will open the eyes of the blind, and you will free the captives from prison, releasing those who sit in darkness. So guess what? For those of you who are not in bondage anymore, where the enemy is sitting on top of your chest, for those of you who have broke out of that, now you get to witness to others of the things of what Christ wants to do. And that's exactly what this ministry is. I'm just sharing what the Lord has shared with me, so that, honestly, I am amazed at how the Lord has came through and revealed so many things to me. But I know he wants to do that with you too. And so you can help others. So even if this reaches, one person or a million people, this is what the Lord wants. And so for us to go out and show his glory, we want to show so when we do good deeds and we're doing things, doing the things that the Lord is calling us, you guys, that is him. That is a reflection of who he is. And so all honor and glory goes to him, because that's what he did. He helped, like most of us, like I'm going to say for myself, overcome a lot of situations. And so that's what he wants to do. He wants to break you out of that cycle, that depression. If some of you are dealing with that, or maybe you are dealing with a drunkenness spirit, or some of you with lust. And just know that you are free from generational curses. And like, he wants to come through and show you, because you guys, it's not about you. You have to remember, at the end of the day, like, it's not about you. And so, because there's so many people, you guys, need to be reached. And this is what it's all about. I always said that, like, we're supposed to, when the Lord brings you out of something, you stick your hand up, you bring another sister or brother back in, bring them up, so that they'll be able to reach for the next. It's like a dominoes effect. And that's what he wants. And so I also was reading how, you guys have to understand, God designed us to be that light. We were never created to just be in darkness. He never created us to worship the enemy. He didn't create us just for us to have a slave mentality or to feel depressed or defeated all the time. That's all the enemy, you guys, because he already knows he is screwed. He already knows that he's going to spend eternity in hell, and he wants to bring as many others with him. And so you got to choose, either you want to spend eternity with our Father in heaven, where there's no worries, where you're not on fire constantly, like, you think about it, like, you're already dealing with this world stuff. Don't you want to be where you can be free? Because I believe that when they go to hell, they're going to be constantly reminded of all the evil deeds. Besides your burning, everything you did and you followed the enemy, they're going to be constantly going through that turmoil. But see, the Lord wants to save you, and this is what this is about. So if he's sending others to warn you or trying to, get you to open up your eyes, that's all he's doing. He just want to reveal who he is. And right now, we all want to be that vessel. You want to be that vessel that he wants to use, because some of you, like, I'm paying attention, like with my grandson. I have my oldest grandson's 4 years old. And so I thought about last night, he was having little issues with his stomach, and I just anointed his head with oil and I prayed over him, because I never got to do any of that with my girls when they were little. And so, and I'm just so thankful that, because I have 2 grandsons, I get to share that with them. I get to share, who Christ is and what he can do. And so I pray, I thank God for him being, I know he's healed, and, the best little thing, he has his little eyes closed too. And it just made my little day, because when I opened my eyes, his little eyes still was closed. And I just thought it was just like, what, but it's a start. It's a start, and I know that some of us have to be that light. And right now I know those boys, as their grandmother, I want to be that grandmother who fears the Lord, who's walking in agreement with him. And I want to be that example, so that they know that they have a Father in heaven that loves them, and he wants the best for them, and no matter what they face, they'll always be able to beat it, so, and it lets me know, like, when the Lord was talking to me about my middle child, and I would just, today I just listened to the Holy Spirit. I'm like, she's strong. She's very strong. And I thought about how she was just like, the middle child syndrome. Probably feel like, I don't get to get this like them. And I'm just like, because she doesn't need it. And she doesn't even realize what he has given her. Like, she's going to be okay in life. And so that's what it is, you guys. Like, once the Lord starts to put people around you, and they're sharing all these things with you, what the Lord is saying, and they're, it's just to encourage you that you don't have to worry about your past. You don't have to worry about what happened, whatever yesterday. You get to look forward to a new day. And so, like Jesus said, one thing, like how God created the birds, they don't worry about anything. They don't worry about anything. And I don't know if that was in Matthew 6. I could be wrong. Let me make sure. 6, 7, one of them. But we don't have to worry, because we have him, and so that's what we have to remember. Yeah, it was in Matthew 6. And Matthew 6, verse 25. So if you want to read that about, if you are worried about anything, I would say just read all the way through 34. So 25 to 34. But don't worry about anything, just put your trust in the Lord. He's got you. That's why God sent him, so he can cover us in all those areas where our weaknesses are. And, just give it to him. That's what it is, And so I wanted to share with you guys, I was reading in Matthew 5 when the Lord was talking about salt and light. And I'm just going to read about light. And it says, and this is in verse 14. So chapter 5, verse 14. You are the light of the world, like a city on a hilltop that cannot be hidden. No one lights a lamp and then puts it under a basket. Instead, a lamp is placed on the stand where it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your good deeds shine out for all to see, so that everyone will praise your heavenly Father. So yes, you guys, he did not create us, like I said. We are not to be hidden in darkness. Like what is it? Like I'm just gonna keep God to myself. He's doing all these good things for me. I'm not gonna even tell y'all what he did for me. You know how selfish is that? And it's like, no, if he do it for me, he'll do it for you. So I look at it like this. I see all these great stories in the Bible, and I think about all the things that the Lord has did for them, and I'm like, you know what, he can do that for me. Like he did it for them, he'll do it for me, and I believe he'll do even more. And so that's where you have to get your mind there. And what I love is, and I know this is, like I said, you can stretch this out, and sometimes it just depends on what audience, so like, especially if you're a beginner, I kind of want to really speak more to people who are pretty much just walking. But if you have a hard time understanding, then or maybe some things you feel like is a little advanced, then maybe this is where you're supposed to start. But when he talked about well, let me make sure I get this right. When he said no one lights a lamp and then puts it under a basket. Instead, a lamp is placed on a stand where it gives light to everyone in the house. And so if you are, let's say, the husband of that house, the Lord has, especially if you're a man and your husband, you have your wife and your children, you are to set those examples. You are the one that's supposed to, to seek the Lord, for guidance and things. And yes, your wife, that's your helpmate, she's also supposed to seek the Lord, because we all have to have our own relationship with God. But even if you are a single mother, you are that one that has to set that example for your children in your home. So you want to keep them covered. You want to keep them covered under our Father. And so even if kids, we know they're going to stray away and do whatever, but they will come back. They will come back. You continue to pray over them. You talk to them. They'll remember certain things, Even we wasn't raised in church growing up. I remember my mom, she'll pull out that Bible and be reading, and she did it a lot. And sometimes in a lot, she scared me with most of it, because it always felt like, especially if you know you was, doing something that you probably was being bad or whatever the case, you just thought you was going straight to hell. And so it's funny how that it can't, the enemy have it where it can scare people and, and make them not want to have anything to do with God, because they feel like they're already, messed up. So, and I just wanted to share that, like, so we have to make sure that we are seeking God and we're getting his understanding, his wisdom. So if the Lord is having us share with our children, we are not going to have it to where they're just so afraid of him. And when I say, yeah, we're supposed to fear him, but we are not supposed to be like the fear, like how the enemy is putting inside of us. So I just wanted to share some of those things with you. Be that light in your family, be that light in your community. Like I said, people are always watching, No, you're not perfect, but I will tell you this. What I realized when the Lord has given me this platform, it changes things, and when you're in leadership and you're in a position like that, you're most definitely, it's almost like, I'm not going to say you can't live a normal life, because whenever you give your life to Christ, you're living for him. So it is a lot of changing. People are going to probably not like that about you. They probably want to, some of them just probably like, well, I miss the old, let's say Nisha. And I'm just like, what, guess what, the old Nisha ain't coming back, so, and I don't have to say it. I just have to live by that example. So, and like I said, I'm learning, but it's a process, but I believe the Lord's got me. So I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. And I believe that I'll always cater to him until the day, I'll always cater to him no matter what, even if he calls me home. So I look at it like that. So yes, you want to make sure that you, when I say, man, sacrifice your time, give him everything, because in the end, that's, that's all you got. Because, we don't have nothing else. So remember, Jesus was that light. God gave him to us. And now we are to help one another, to equip each other, and for us to be that light for others, and for others to be that light, and to encourage one another in his word. And so I just want to thank you guys for just joining me on Crossover Ministries. My name is Nisha, and until the next time, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And may the Lord bless you and keep you. And I just pray that you guys always seek him. So thank you. Have a good day.